Hey, how's it going, you guys? Back again with another update on my roguelike. So, as you saw in the last video, I was making the art for our new enemy. Now I'm going to be rigging up the new enemy in Construct 3, getting the code all in, and doing a little bit of test playing with them. So, um, I guess to start off, I'll just cover the basic things. So, I got attack, health, damage all set up. Um, uh, I got the animations working all right. I made it to where he'll spawn in his own range, which will come in as a child of it. Um, uh, that's pretty much yeah. And then so for the spawning, how I did it is this guy won't be able to spawn until you've completed at least 2 levels, and if he does spawn, most likely there'll be less enemies spawning with him. And also, I also tweaked around the ranged enemies a little bit, just because during test playing, I realized how overpowered the ranged enemies are, and I could have just nerfed the enemies themselves, but instead I decided just to make it to where less ranged enemies would spawn whenever they're spawning range enemies, just because I felt like having one ranged enemy was fine, but whenever there was like 3 of them and you have to dodge all 3 shots, it gets chaotic and yeah, all that stuff. So, anyways, I added him in, and I did have to go back into the sprite editor, well, the pixel art editor that I'm using, just because I forgot to make a shockwave form. So it was just a red square that expands out around him. Anyways, so I made that, put that in, and then I just set it to where, well, so funny story. I I kind of decided to make a simple fix, one of the hardest fixes in the universe. So what I didn't word that too well. Anyways, so what I did is I planned to have it set similarly to the melee enemy, to where whenever the player was in range, um, uh, like whenever the player hits the range box, it would set the detection variable to 1, and then the animation would start playing. And when the animation reached the 7th frame, with which is that's the fire frame, it would release the shockwave. And you think that would work fine. You think that would be completely perfect, right? Well, that's what I thought too. But no matter how many different ways I tried, it never worked. I changed it to where if the player is overlapping, set it to 1. I even did it to where where like it just constantly played the animation, and that still didn't work. Um so yeah. But eventually I did figure out how to do it. So what I did is I just gave it a the turret ability, and then whenever the player was in range, it would uh it would start playing the animation, and whenever the animation reached the 7th frame, which is the fire frame, it would launch off the shockwave. Which it was a simple fix, but I made it overly complicated, you could say. Yeah. Anyways, so I got that fixed, and but then I ran across a different problem, which it wasn't a problem in my eyes, but it probably would have been a problem for players, just because it made the shockwave dude just way too overpowered. So what it was whenever there was a good like at least 1 second on just the timing between the 7th frame and the 8th frame, and because there's nothing to regulate the time, it would just infinitely spawn in the shockwaves as long as it was on the 7th frame, which made an extremely cool shockwave effect. Like, it looked amazing. But also, just for reference, so the shockwave enemy does 3 damage per hit, and what I did is I gave the player, I think it was like 100 health or something, and it one shot the player before, like, it one shot the player before even the entire shockwave went through the player. Yeah, it was way too over. But so yeah, it was a simple fix. I just put in a variable that says every zero point 0.8 seconds, um uh, it will allow one of the things to spawn, which does give way to some maybe like future problems maybe, but you know that's a problem for future me. I'll deal with it when I get there. Let's see. So yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I covered it all. Okay, cool. So in the next episode, I'm gonna be working on more maps. Maybe. Mm, oh yeah, more abilities. Actually, I have more abilities that I already drew up. I drew them up while I was at work on lunch. I need to put those in. Yep. Okay, that'll be next episode. I'll be adding some new abilities. They're not extremely exciting abilities, but they're definitely good. They'll they're good in-game abilities, you could say. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Y'all are amazing, and I'll catch you later.